Hello my spooky friends, and welcome back to Where Midnight Looms. My name is Lisa, and in today's video we are going to be putting up my Halloween mantle. So I thought it would be fun to share with you part of what I'm going to be putting up on the mantle today. I'm going to try and get as much done as I can today, so it's done, because today is the 23rd, I think. September's flying by. So I gotta hurry up and get this done. First, what we have over here, we have some snake oil. And of course, as you can see, there's snakes inside. And here we have sort of this sort of apothecary stand. It was a CD holder that I got at the Goodwill, but it works great for this. And I've got some twinkly lights, battery operated twinkly lights taped onto the back. So of course you're going to get the backlight coming through the jars. So here we have our creepy spider, and in this one we have a mouse, a plastic mouse of course, and then some skulls. Now these little jars, I don't, I just store them like this every year. I don't open them and empty them and remake the mixture. It's a water and clear corn syrup mixture and some green food coloring. And these have all probably been in their jars, I would say maybe 10 years now, 8 years, something like that. So I really like doing this kind of thing on the mantle because you get the backlight coming through, and of course we get this, this spooky green color. So I have some rope lights and just some regular white twinkle lights, and then I've got the orange lights that I change color with a remote, and those are all sorry, it's the cats. Those all run across the back length of the mantle to give me some backlight. So these are going to go up, and then of course I'll put some little things on the shelf to go around there. And I've got the palmistry hand here under glass, which I love. And we've got a little mouse here. We got the fake moss and a tiny little skull. This will go up probably on a little bit of a pedestal. So one of the things that I really like to do is have things at different heights. And I think it makes, visually, it creates a really interesting effect when not everything is just at the one eye level. And then here I've got this old glass jewelry box, and I've put a skull, or a tiny skeleton in here. This has got some dirt and some again, some fake moss. There's the tombstone, and then there's the spooky guy in the back. And I tried various ways to light this thing up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do this year, but once I get it lit up, I will let you know for sure. And then we've got the glass coffin that I got from Michael's last year. So we got to get some tiny jars and stuff in there. And then of course I've got the scary lady, the ghost, the apparition in the mirror there. So that's where we are so far. And we've got Sophie here considering a really bad decision. Sophie. Soph? That's right. The answer to that is no. Okay, let me get a few things out and arranged, and yeah, I'll give you a bit of an update. Okay, so now I have sort of the major players in place, if you will, where I want them to go. So we've got this guy at the end, which is on a cake stand, and I found those hands years ago at the Goodwill, and then I'm gonna put a light in there so that looks super creepy at night. We've got my full moon. Here we've got the palmistry hand. This is just an old jewelry box that I got, and I painted it black, and I put the grippy stuff on the top, And then I'm going to pull these drawers out, and there'll be something spooky. Oh, no, that one doesn't pull out. Something spooky or gross is going to, or not gross, but you know what I mean. Deathly ill is going to come out of there. Oops, sorry about the weird shiny lights. Here we have the Midnight Elixir jar. And again, this is water and food coloring and corn syrup. And I had found this black, I don't know, this black meshy, it was in the floral section at Michael's. And when I put it in there, I thought this is perfect for a midnight, or nightmare elixir, right? Like your thoughts all get caught in here, and it's, you know, scary and spooky. And anyways, if you're gonna follow along on the channel, you're gonna have to get used to my imagination. I'm gonna have to just be upfront about that right now. There we have her, and again the mirror up here, and then here is going to be where the glass coffin is. The chattering teeth will sit on here. And then the witch's apothecary coffin is going to be here. And then I've got this heart that I painted up last year, and we've got the bats in it. And I'm not 100% sure where this is going to go yet, but it's probably going to be somewhere down at this end here. In this bin, I have all the breakable stuff and all the little bits and bobs that are going to go on next. So we've got our metal spider. What's this here? Oh, this is the prayer girl that I painted. Oops, sorry. I painted her black. You know, there's some of these things that I painted black a while ago that I may at one point go back and spray paint gray or white so that they look a little more ghostly. I really like how they look with the black, but sometimes they just don't pop on the mantle the way I would like them to. So that's something I'm thinking about doing this year. Okay, we've got some little mini tombstones in here. What's this here? Oh, these are the ghostly hands that are coming out of the mirror. So there's these doll hands that I glued onto a mirror that I got at the Goodwill. That's one of my favorites. I love that. Super spooky. And then, oh, here are the chattering teeth. These are teeth that, this was a cast from my friend Emily. She was kind enough to give them to me, and they look exactly like her. Of course they do, because they're her teeth, but I love them. One of the best birthday presents ever, let me tell you. And then we've just got some old vintage bottles in here, as well as this from the Goodwill. Of course, she's got no head, so she's perfect to go on the Halloween mantle. So I'm going to get everything else in here unwrapped. Here, we're going to have a Sophie sighting in a minute. And we'll get this on the mantle. What you doing? Okay. Be careful. Okay, what have I got here? Oh, yeah, so here's another figurine. Our ghostly couple together in eternity, serving tea and refreshments. So this was the difference between... Okay. Do you think while I'm making a video that there would be a possible way that you two could... Lucy, can you not share with Sophie on top of the bookcase at all? No. Please? So yeah, so this I really liked. This is sort of an opalescent pearl white, grayish cream color. And I think that it does, at the end of the day, where's the other one? It does work a little bit better than her painted in all shiny black. Anyways, okay, let me get all this stuff unwrapped, and then, yeah, I'll show you what it looks like on the mantle. Okay, so here's a little look at some of these things before they go up on the mantle, because it is pretty dark over there. So these figurines, I didn't paint these. I just got these from the Goodwill like this. And I think they look super spooky. Here's the one I showed you already without the head. And there's her skirt, the bottom of her skirt's attached there. See, it just comes off. So it's like a little jewelry holder thing. Here we've got the lady in the bottle, or the ghost, the spirit. And it's just a photograph that I cut out and rolled it up real tight, and just shoved it in there. She looks great at night. Here is another statuette that I got from the Goodwill, and I painted her black. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my camera skills here today. I'm used to using my iPad. And then here is another ghost, an apparition here. And I think she was to be part of a set where she was playing the piano. But I like her because I think she looks like she's raising the dead, raising the spirit. She's having a seance of some sort. So there's those. I showed you the spooky couple. Here we've got these bat droppings, which of course is just allspice in there. So that's kind of fun. And then just some regular old bottles that I like to put up. Again, I put the lights behind them, and it casts an interesting light and a shadow that comes through it. So we've got this little hand here, this little tea light holder. So now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put all this stuff up on the mantle, and yeah, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm losing my light here because I think it's going to rain, but this might actually work a little bit in our favor. So here you can see I've got the empty vintage bottles and how the light shines through from them, giving this sort of ghostly, eerie green color. And same here with these two bottles here. And then we've got the green. The green shows up a lot brighter on my phone than it does in real life, but you get the idea. So then we've got our ghost seance lady here on top of the jewelry box that I painted. I'm gonna move some of this around a little bit more, but this is overall how this is gonna look. And yeah, so you can see the shadow of the spooky guy there and the outline of the tombstone here. And again, our couple bounded for in eternity, serving tea. And then I've got the teeth under the dome here. There's going to be a mouse there. So I just need to fill the coffin and put something in behind there. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my heart. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep those bats there. See, now that it's dark, you can see how the bats don't really show up. And the reason I painted the heart white was so that it would show up a little bit better. So it's one thing to keep in mind if you're working on stuff for your mantle, depending on, you know, where yours is and how it's lit and all that kind of thing. I'm finding that the lighter colors definitely work better during the nighttime. And of course, the nighttime is when we want it to look the spookiest. So there you have it, my lovely friends. That is the beginning. Well, I would say no, that's the majority of the setup of the mantle. When I get everything totally finished over the coming days, I will definitely give you a tour once again. And then we've got our apparition in the mirror. And then we've got our hands, our ghostly hands coming out of the mirror here. So my lovely friends, or my spooky friends, I really appreciate you hanging out and spending a spooky time with me. If you like this video, please do give it a little thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, as we are just starting out with this channel, and it really helps the algorithm know who to show me to. So if you have any questions, by all means leave them down below and I will get back to you. And as always, stay spooky, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.